What's good? We back. Motor City Sports Talk. We in the building. Thanks for everybody for listening, subscribing. Showing much love. I definitely appreciate it. Go ahead and share the videos. You want to know when I upload or go live? Hit the bell icon right next to the subscribe button. Today we talking about Detroit Pistons kicking them off the morning, and Jeff Bowers is seen to be a top candidate to be retained as the top decision maker. Well, he will be the top decision maker. Right now, his position was, just under Stan Van Gundy for GM position. Ultimately, Van Gundy had the final say to approve or push through a trade or decline it or decline a move. But let's talk about what Van Gundy said before. We're going to take it back a few videos when he talked about on his way out. He said Jeff Bowers was the one that put all these deals together. He just approved it, He just pushed it through and gave it approval. So he said Bowers was very integral in making the day-to-day basketball operation moves. For me, no. This is the same shit with Tom LeWine, Mark Mayhew, and Matt Millen. Tom LeWine and Mayhew was in Matt Millen's cabinet, his room, his team. They was up there making the decisions for Ernie Sims and Charles Rogers and Mike Williams and stuff of that nature. And we talked about that article Matt Millen said with Peter King and Sports Illustrated, talking about how he was on the phone with DeMarcus Ware and his team told him, no, I think go pick Mike Williams. See what I'm saying? You don't want any, remains of the old regime in your office, man. I'm getting rid of all the scouts. I'm getting rid of everybody, man. Scouts, GM. And maybe they got to say this for Jeff Bowers because he got to go ahead and complete the draft process. But to me, that shit ain't that important. Excuse my French. Because you only got a second round draft pick. He ain't showed the ability to draft a first round draft pick. So at the end of the day, I've been and go ahead and send him packing. I can, I can get any Joe Smo to handle the second round of the draft. You feel me? So after that pick was gone, he'd have been gone too. I'm not no fan of retaining Jeff Bowers. Seriously. I don't see any reasoning to retain him. They checking out Kiki Vandeweghe. He was a GM over in Denver way back when. I'm not sure of his body of work. Jeff Bowers is one of the guys they're looking at reportedly, and a few other guys. A guy from the Boston Celtics organization who worked under Danny Ainge, who they've been doing big things the last few years in acquiring talent and drafting top talent. Hopefully Chauncey get up in there. I want young and innovative, and that seems that or innovative at least. Seems like the Boston guy might fit that. I'm not sure his body of work and his credentials with Danny Ainge, but I know they got a nice little run going over there with drafting Jaylen Brown, with bringing in Marcus Smart, with identifying Tatum as the best player in the draft and moving back and getting draft picks for Tatum. So I most definitely like what Boston been doing, and it ain't bad to pick fruit off a fruitful tree like Boston and the way they do things. So, but also Brent Barry is seen as a position in the front office, and Country Day former Country Day star, Shane Battier. Country Day alum. He's looked at as getting a position in the front office of the Pistons, not the major, basketball operations position. That'll be up to Tom Gores and Kiki Vandeweghe and the dude from the Celtics and Jeff Bowers. But like I said, back to Jeff Bowers, absolutely not. As bad as they evaluated talent and all the stupid trades they made, Reggie Jackson, and in hindsight, the Blake Griffin trade wasn't that good. No. The only good thing this regime did, man, in my opinion, was let KCP walk. But let KCP walk. That's it. They didn't bend or break in signing him. They let him walk and replace him with Avery Bradley. We know Avery Bradley, the situation they ended up having before he came to Detroit with the reality star. She said he allegedly did some things, and that's why the Pistons sent him packing real quick after a while. Went on injury. Tobias Harris, it was a good trade, but you ended up trading him. Jeff Bowers and Stan Van Gundy, man, they wanted to be a defensive team, but they got a whole bunch of players who couldn't play defense. Okay, everybody can play defense, and Drummond I had a defense, but he was already here. Both in KCP was already here too. They got rid of him, right? Replaced him with Avery Bradley. acquired Reggie Jackson somewhere around the way. He can't play D. Tobias Harris couldn't play D. You know, Morris was okay defender, okay, but you let him walk. You know, Blake Griffin can't play D. Ish Smith can't play D. You know, all these players that you got coming in, Luke Kennard you drafted, he can't play D. You know what I'm saying? All these misses that they done across the way, and they trying to build a defensive team with a whole bunch of players that's more offense than defense who ain't willing to play defense. Van Gundy can scream on the sideline all day about defense. The guys don't play no defense because they ain't know how to play defense. They wasn't defensive players when they got here. You want to get two-way players. At least, you know, 3 in your starting lineup, 2 or 3 in your starting lineup in today's NBA. And they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They had Donovan Mitchell, who's a good two-way player. They took him for Luke Kennard, who just whatever he is at this point. He's a good shooter. You know, he shows some impressive flashes, but when you look at Devin Mitchell, Devon Mitchell, you look at Luke Kennard, I mean, it's like night and day. It's like Beyonce, and then it's like the hood rat in the neighborhood. You know, you want Beyonce, right? How did you pass up on Beyonce for a hood rat from the neighborhood, man? You know? And just by some of the moves that he approved and allegedly put together by Stan Van Gundy, no, I would not like to have him back, you know? Like I said, I'm not real versed in the GM world, in the basketball operation worlds in the NBA. I know Kiki Vandeweghe was the Nuggets GM some time back. I don't know how good or bad he did. You know, that's some question that we had to ask a real insider or go back and look at his track record in this roster and his draft picks. But like I said, whoever takes a position got to be competent, man. They got to know how to evaluate talent. They got to want to have the right coach that want to develop young talent and don't let them sit on the bench like the Pistons traditionally do. Let, you know, rookies sit on the bench, lose confidence, and they go somewhere else and they tear it up. You got to be about player development and being able to scout talent and draft talent, man. You got to have a game plan for this you know, terrible cap salary roster. But Motor City Sports Talk.